I have some shocking news to tell you, but it's super important and something that, we really all need to consider. Did you know that the American Cancer Society is reporting? I just read an article, it was actually published on the news site CNN. CNN's news site published this article actually today, as the day I'm recording this. So I don't know when you're listening to this, but as of today, this article came out on CNN, and basically they're reporting that the American Cancer Society is now reporting that cancer rates is just staggering. I can't even believe that this is. I had to double check to make sure I wasn't misreading it. The American Cancer Society is reporting that cancer has risen in people age 50 and younger by a whopping 79%. Let me repeat that. In the last few years, cancer has risen in the demographic of 50 and younger by over 79%. That is not that was not a misprint. That is actually accurate. 79% rise in younger people, 50 and younger, being diagnosed with cancer. That should be alarming to all of us. It is not normal for people to get cancer. Actually, in the same article that I read on CNN, they interviewed a doctor, and this doctor said just a few years ago, the people that were coming in, he was an oncologist, cancer doctor that treats cancer, and he was saying just a few years ago, there wasn't anybody in his office that was under 60 years old, and now he said half the people in his practice are below 50. There's a reason for it. It should never be normalized. Getting cancer, especially getting cancer, a whopping 79% increase in cancer rates among people who are 50 and younger, should never be normalized. It is not normal. And this is happening in the United States. And of course, the article was advocating, getting screened and getting treatment and all this, but that's not a solution. That's not a solution, because the same medical industry that's advocating you coming to it for treatment is also completely unconscious to the cause of it, or not willing to address the cause of it. And we could speculate, and I could speculate about some things that are being introduced to our society that have driven these cancer rates up, but that's just pure speculation. What is not speculation are the facts. 79% increase in cancer rates amongst people who are 50 and younger. This should be alarming. Now, we know there are many, many, many things that we know cause cancer that are actually approved to be in our foods, that are actually approved, that we know certain treatments. So the last thing we need is to turn to an industry that is incapable of even addressing the root causes, that is completely ignorant of the root causes or won't address them. We don't need more synthetic drugs. We need to get to the root of why these cancer rates are being driven up, okay? And leaders, and so this is an election year, and this is not a partisan political statement. I don't care who you are. If you're running for higher office in this country and you are not addressing the health crisis, and if your attempt to address the health crisis is just to include or give access to more people to our healthcare system, you are not addressing the healthcare crisis, because our healthcare system does not know and is not addressing the root causes of cancer in our society, or any chronic disease for that matter. So that is not the solution. Our leaders have an obligation and duty to address the roots of chronic disease in our society. We need to get to the roots of why this country is one of the sickest countries in the world. And if you aspire to leadership in any way, shape, or form, anybody that aspires to leadership needs to be addressing the chronic disease crisis in this country. And we cannot just milk it by saying, hey, let's give more people access to the same healthcare system that isn't even sure what's driving the cancer rates up 79%. Because they're not addressing that. No one's talking about root causes. We're just talking about treatments. Well, you don't have to get treated for something if it's never caused, right? If you're not ingesting things that are causing the cancers or putting things in your body that are causing the cancers, you don't have to get treated for it. It's much simpler to not get the cancer than to get treated for it. So our leaders have an obligation to address the public health crisis that's happening in this country. But nevertheless, not just leaders. That is a job for leaders. It's our job as human beings. If you have a human body, you have an opportunity to address your health. You have an opportunity to get very clear about what certain things do to your body. And what does it look like to cultivate a life of health? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What kind of life do you want to have? If you want to live life well, you have to start addressing health at the personal level in every shape or form. And this is also true for our leaders. So in this election year, pay attention to the candidates that are simply just advocating more money for the healthcare system, more drugs for the people, and pay attention to the candidates that are talking about systemic root causes of chronic diseases and addressing health at the root level. It'll be eye-opening to you.